Hey muses, welcome back to my channel, and hi, hello, welcome if this is your first time finding me. My name is Tyler, also known as T-Mann Tarot here on the interwebs, your friendly tarot creator, reader, deck connoisseur, everything mystical, divinatory, all of that fun stuff. Yeah, we're back. I feel like I'm getting back into the saddle and trying to roll back into this, but please forgive me. But today we are going to be doing a deck haul. This video is going to be a haul of things that I've either purchased or have been sent to me by publishers to kind of do a quick review. Any and all decks that I can find where the links are available for purchase will be in the comment section below. But before we dive into today's video, please make sure you subscribe, comment, like, and turn on that notification bell so you never miss a video. Now, friends, also remember that my Patreon is still up and active, so if you would like early access to any of my YouTube videos or would like to help choose the decks that come out, please go over and subscribe to the Patreon. It helps me, be able to sustain this content creation. Now, friends, let's shift gears and get into this month's haul video. Let's get into it. All right, friends, so we are going to start today with the decks that I have purchased. Now, I want to start with an Oracle deck. Now, this is the Oracle of Oddities Oracle deck by Claire Goodchild. This was brought to my attention by the one and only Lisa, or the ones and only Lisa Pepez and Danny Mystic during, I believe, one of their hot takes videos. It's an Oracle deck. I believe it is the 5th and final production of this Oracle deck. I just fell in love with the kind of black and white and color aspects here of just the simplicity of it. I believe this is oh my god, names. Claire Goodchild had done multiple different versions of this, and I believe this is the, amalgamation of all versions of this deck that they have created in one, without the expansion packs, all of that stuff. It is just beautifully drawn, no guidebook, wonderful cardstock. I did back this one when they were doing the reproductions of this and making this available, but it is just beautifully stunning. If this is still available, as I said at the start, links for purchase directly from the creator is going to be below. But again, I just imagine is this card with the skull, with flowers, a bumblebee, a crystal, a flower, a bat, it looks like maybe a rotting egg, right? It's just so intuitive. Ooh, is that a kidney? Interesting. I just fell in love with this, and I knew that when I heard that this might be the last time this is going to be in reproduction, I knew I had to get a hands on this. It's starting to become this notion that if I really love it, it's got to be kind of this one-of-a-kind situation for me to snag it outside of being sent decks for review. So it's been a lot of fun. Now, let's shift gears and talk about this lovely pile. Now, my husband and I and a bunch of our friends just went to Mexico City, and we spent a week in Mexico, and one of the things that I knew that I had to do was go to the tarot shop called Tarot Mundo, or Tarot World. It was told to me by somebody who came into the crystal shop who has worked with Los Scarabeo, and said, if you are there, you gotta go. So my goal while I was there was to try to find tarot decks and things that I could not necessarily or have not seen in the States. So let's dive into this little like vacation haul of things that I got. The one thing that I was set out to find, and I'm still looking for it, but this is the El Tarot deck inspired by Loteria cards. And Loteria cards, think of it kind of as like a version of bingo, if you will. Over the holidays, we went over to our friend's house and played Loteria, and as I'm sitting there, I'm going, oh, somebody's abuela is sitting there reading these cards to, you know, for divinatory meanings. While I was in Mexico City, I was trying to find a tarot deck or not a tarot deck, just the Loteria cards, but everything that I found was just kind of, was the full game set, and I didn't want to do that. I do know, I believe US Games has a Loteria Oracle deck, so I'm gonna have to get that. Some of these cards are, right, not necessarily it is illustrated in the style of Loteria, and some of the cards are Loteria, right? There is a barrel, but they decided to put the hermit in the barrel. That's cute. There is the spider, which they've made into the Wheel of Fortune. So there are, right, there is the death, or there is a skeleton. There are representations of this is the moon card in Loteria. So it's just a lovely take on it. So I'm excited to see how they made it a pip style for the minors, which that's fine. Not my favorite style to do, but I don't necessarily think that it was going to be able to have a full illustration through it, because not the Bitcoin. Honestly, guys, these are also my raw first impressions of all of these. I haven't looked through them. Lovely guidebook here for these cards. My favorite, Death is the first one I kind of always check. And it's short and sweet, right? The upright meaning says, like skinny jeans, the past is dead. Be open to a hot new trend. # transformation. So stupid. Reversed, don't fight the future, embrace it. It gets better. # fear of change. Cute, campy. I'm excited to kind of dive into this. But I want to get myself just a regular set of Loteria cards. This was the first deck that, while I was shopping in the store, that I discovered and found, and it is the Medieval Feathers Tarot. Do we have who did it? Artwork and concept by Alejandro R. Rosana, text by J.R. Rivera, published by Blue Angel. So this might be able to be found in the States. The reason why I grabbed this from the cover is because it reminds me of the illustrations of the Fyodor Pavlov tarot, the tarot deck that I use all the time. It has a very similar concept. Oh my god, the cards are bigger. Which is exciting. It has the same kind of vibe as the deck that I use all the time, but there's feathers involved. But this is in a Marseille style, and a Marseille tarot deck is kind of what I've been wanting to learn into. I do kind of enjoy that it has both versions, right? It has English text. Can you see that? English text for uprights and reversed meanings. But the illustrations are just so lovely. I'm interested in the feathers concept. I haven't necessarily the feathers weren't the main draw to me. Even though it says medieval feathers, it wasn't until I had like held this box for like 10 minutes or so that I realized that it was feathers, and I almost put it down. But then I was like, no, the artwork is very much important to me. So I'm gonna go for the ride with the feathers. And I want to get into a Marseille, so having maybe this feathers context with it will definitely help me out here. Let's just kind of flip to, let's see. Let's go into a major strength here. A youthful woman stands alone inside an empty chamber. Her fears ramble in her stomach and whispers in her ear, attempting to belittle her and leave her vulnerable. The torments from the past become more powerful, and she cannot stand on her feet. The only pillar in the room provides her with the comfort and the support to cling to. She knows that it can't do much other than sustain her posture. With the causeware feather, she realizes that eventually she will have to muster the strength to put her mind at ease by facing her fears. Okay, reverse meaning, okay, so it does get into it. The feather, the causeway feather advice that you will have to confront your fears by taking them head on with one aim in mind, to liberate yourself. But what is the okay, I wish they told me what bird it was from, but nonetheless, so the feather might not necessarily be the whole key point, but that's totally fine. I didn't need it to be. This is just a lovely deck. Huge card stock. Right? This is the kind of the normal, not even normal. Here we go. We can kind of see the 3 different sizes here. This is a traditional size. This is the size of the Pavlov tarot, and then this is the feather size. Totally 3 different sizes here. Listen, not a size queen, but you know what? I love a big deck. Let's move on, shall we? As I was walking around the store, this caught my eye. The Jade Oracle. Victoria Egalas and Anne Key, artwork by Romano Snowtail. I apologize if I'm butchering your name. The Jade Oracle is a powerful divination deck of 52 cards and guidebooks, bringing wisdom of ancient Mexico to a new generation, combining myths, symbols, and original artwork. This deck is a spiritual tool for the rational and personal ritual and personal transformation. I saw this because while we were in Mexico, we went to in Mexico City, we went to one of the pyramids and saw similar artwork here. Love that there is a guidebook. Oh, this is beautiful. Wait, you flip it upside down and you get it in Spanish. Yes. And upright is in English. There's multiple ways to kind of get the information. I love that. Do we have a publisher? Nope, just thejadeoracle.com. But it just spoke to me. It was something different. Love that it has a name, but then a provider of sustenance. Snake Woman. It just was something new and something different. I can't wait to kind of like throw this in just to see how this reads, how this shuffles, all of the fun things. But it's just something new and something different and something that I have not seen in the States. Rabbit. But like, We kind of saw this when we went to the Temple of the Sun. Fun little kind of oracle deck. Okay, so the last two that I got while I was at the store. This is what is called the New York Lenormand. And I have been getting into Lenormand cards, but what caught my specific attention with this is that instead of the playing cards that are normally here, they've put tarot on the cards. So that's an interesting kind of perspective. I do read it in that kind of same mindset. So I would love to kind of break in and see if these truly match the playing cards that are listed on the regular Lenormand. But it's just a fun new kind of set. It's something that I've been getting into because it is pretty straightforward and learning how to do it. But this caught my attention and I thought, why not? It's fun, it's cute, really thick cardstock, and it came with this lovely little bag. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited. There isn't anything much outside of the cards themselves here. There's no guidebook, but I do have a guidebook for Lenormand that I love to use. Now, as I was getting wrung out, I saw the Pixie Pop Tarot, and I have been kind of wanting to get my hands on a version of this. This looks like it's the pocket, maybe pocket size. It's not necessarily a mini, right? Yeah, it's not a mini. But it is a Pixie Pop version. Comes with a guidebook, which looks substantial. But I just, like, it's a colorways that is totally different. It is vibrant. It's your standard kind of edition. I just love the vibrant colors here. It's just so bright and so fun. And I just enjoy all of the different kind of colors and skin tones, and it's just a fun version of it. You can do uprights and inversions. Ooh, this has been rocking around in that box. It is a matte back, so it is gonna get a little scuffy. Love the uprights and inversions, love the matte black, and we get a lovely card of Miss Pamela Coleman Smith, or Pixie, in the deck. All right. So those are the things that I have purchased on my own. Let's quickly talk about the things that have been sent to me for review. A lot of this is from Wiser Books or Red Wheel Publishing. Some of these things are the Tarot Chimera is currently out. The Tarot and the Psychology of the Soul and the Ogaham, I believe is how you pronounce it. Those two, this book and this oracle, come out in March. So a little bit of an early little preview. Okay, so I originally saw this and Divining the Celtic Way. Again, I've done some ancestry research and found out that my family does have Scottish heritage and Celtic heritage, so trying to connect that way has been really meaningful. So this, when I was scrolling through the offers, this caught my attention right away, and I knew that I kind of needed to have it. Ogaham is a Celtic divination system based on the earliest forms of the Irish alphabet. Within the traditional Celtic belief system, each of us is the center of the universe. This deck helps us understand our place in the universe as well as what exists around and within us. This deck is a multi-dimensional gateway that leads us to self-understanding, allowing us to flow and find peace to restore balance. It empowers and grows to adapt to the success. This deck can be used to gain insight into any situation. So it also is given this kind of runic sigil based. Okay, so we have colors. I can't wait to figure out like what the color breakdowns are for, right? Is it like how runes have the 4 etats? Right? What does it break down to? What does it mean? Looks like there's plenty of space if you wanted to write little notes, but it is definitely a need for the guidebook to dive into what it means. This specific one is Ivy. Keyword is development, the letter G, path to the unknown world, and oh, there is the pronunciation of Gert. So it's definitely one that you need the guidebook. It's going to be one that maybe is kind of a card of a day, an altar card situation. But I can't wait. Again, this specific deck. Ooh, love the green edging. They are all the same backs. They will not lead to reversals, but I don't know if you necessarily read them in reversals. Again, this deck officially comes out March 2nd. But I believe possible pre-orders are available now, so keep an eye out. But it is Ogaham, Divining the Celtic Way by Jane Matthews. Tarot, Chimera, by Natasha Rowland. This caught my attention, and the first reason it caught my attention was absolutely this big-headed fool and the High Priestess card. It is you can't really see it. I don't know. Let's go over here and see. There we go. The light coming out of the Book of Wisdom, it just screamed to me. And I love kind of a black and white style. It is, I also can't wait to maybe compare this to one of the other black and gray decks that I have. I can't remember it off the top of my head. But I just kind of love this kind of creepy, kind of, oh, we have some extra cards in here. That's interesting. Let's see. Chimera, the Trickster, the Muse, the Visionary, and the Loki? Genuous Loki? But I can't wait. Lovely gold edges. Very chunky, heavily detailed. Guidebook. Oh, I can't wait to dive into this. Now, the last thing we are going to talk about is a tarot book. This is Tarot and the Psychology of the Soul, Exploring the Archetypal Mirrors of the Psyche by Marina Lewis. Marina's Instagram has been coming up across my social medias a lot, and I love her take on the cards. I have only gotten into, like, the introduction, and I am scribbling notes here, left, right, and center. This book comes out March 2nd. I love the kind of going deeper aspect of the cards, not necessarily them being fortune-tellery, but truly for understand the deeper psychological understanding of who we are. One of the things that first kind of popped out at me was the line that says, essentially, we do not want the cards to tell us how to live, but to help us trust how we live. I just thought that was beautiful and really is the goal of what I am trying to do. But this comes out March 2nd, and I can't wait to give you my full deep review on this this book. But friends, that is the haul for February. Let me know in the comments below maybe which deck you would like to see a review of first. But until then, friends, please remember to breathe and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.